Hello everyone, it's Michael Mechanical here. So since Friday I've been sick and it's horrible. Today's Monday. If I wasn't sick I'd be working, but even if I did work, there's only 3 days of work that I have to do before my contract is over and I'll no longer be working as a courier driver. The catch there is I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get work because it's not as easy as it sounds, and I've done a pretty good job of how I've been going about my CV, my resume, my cover letters and stuff. I actually found a perfect position that best suit my skill sets, and the problem with it was I could submit my cover letter that they asked for. It literally said submit CV, cover letter, or resume, and I clicked resume, I uploaded it, and then straight away went to another page where it wanted me to verify all this information, and it just made it so plain formatted in a document that's like, oh my god, this is disgusting. I'm like, no, I'm not reading that. And I hit the next button and it said, oh, you submitted. Wait, where's my option to submit my cover letter now? So that sort of might fall through. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to go very far. But if it does go somewhere and I do get a job out of it, that will be awesome because it's actually a very reputable company. And I do not believe, yeah, I'm not even going to say it. It's probably best to not say it. Anyway, here we are outside, a little bit sick. Some things have changed, and it's all thanks to Dad, not me. He cleans this bench up, he cleaned that bench up, he cleaned this bench up and neatened it up a bit. He actually chucked out all the packaging and stuff for all my stuff and put it all in here, it seems. Actually, he didn't throw out all the packaging, he just shoved it all in here. He did, however, do that with the packaging here. What has he done? Oh, they're all the clips for that. And that thing doesn't matter because it's broken. I'm just seeing what's in here that he hasn't chucked out or something. Because he just said, you know I paid for this, but still, I'm gonna make you whatever or something. I'm just seeing if he threw my Deutsch terminal in here because he's made a mess. A bit of a mess. I gotta find that now because that is the most expensive thing on this bench. Even the terminals themselves are expensive as anything. I don't know where he put the Deutsch. Because he's done his cleaning. Let's see, can I see the Deutsch in here? I see a bar. I do not see the Deutsch. The Deutsch is not in there. Meaning he probably threw it in a container or somewhere else. Dang, he's made a mess. I'm just trying to find out where he put it. Why did he make such a mess? Oh, it was already messy. There it is. No, that's not it. Dang, I thought that was it. That's the Deutsch. That thing is expensive. I'll throw it in one of the drawers because I don't want that expensive thing going away. And I might even find the other packet of these. There's red ones. Wait, some of these not have holes in them. What's interesting is they only have one hole in it, and that's it. That's interesting. And then these ones have holes go straight through, and then these ones are just plugs. I didn't realize they were just plugs. I thought that was something else. What are these called? These are called seal, red cavity plug, yellow wire seal. Kind of stinks that we got the wrong ones, but whatever. Deutsch crimp tool. That's expensive stuff. But to make a point of why it's worth getting, once you have the expensive tools, you can do the proper job. So if you go cheap with everything, in the long run, it costs you more because by the time you get that thing, you've already spent a lot of money that you didn't need to necessarily spend. So, over the past days, weeks, months, whatever you want to call it, it's more like weeks, me and Dad have been doing some work around the place. He's doing all this cleaning up because he thinks it's cleaning up. When you lose things, it's not cleaning up, it's losing things. When you clean up, things are more clean and there's less mess. You can move things around. And we're fixing someone's washing machine. So recently, we've been on the roof, and I can't climb on that because it's tagged out. I love to climb on that thing, but not safe. Hello. So me and Dad have actually been on the roof of the home. I don't know if we can see it from here. So we've been doing all along the top of the roof on those corner sections of the roof. I can't see with the sun, but it's literally those top bits there. We've been working on them and filling them up with silicone. Well, not silicone, but it's cheap stuff. It's not that good. It's like a gyprock. Filling it up with gyprock and essentially doing that to fill in the holes. We went up there, we did that, made the roof look ugly. Next day, the neighbor calls up and he's like, "What the F have you done to your roof? It looks ugly. It looks like Santa took a crap on the roof." And that was not really that funny, but hey, look! Come on. Overspray. Well, there's the spray, and there's the overspray from the paint gun we ended up getting, which Dad wanted me to pay for and say it's mine or some weird thing. Actually, no, I was going to pay for it and it was going to be his. But I talked to Mum about it, and she said, "No, take it off your board, it's Dad's." So I paid for that, and now Mum's paid for it, so it's now Dad's. Yeah. So there's a lot of things I've got to figure out now, guys. I got to try super duper hard not to spend any money that I don't need to spend, because obviously I'm not going to have a job at the end of the week. In fact, I'm not going to have a job as of Thursday. But let me just let you guys know it's not really a real job, because it doesn't come with any benefits. I've got no benefits to that job. In fact, it's more of an expense than it is a job. It's more like me donating to someone else and calling them the Lord, and they're making all the money and having all the power and doing everything. And I've got to take all the heat. So I get to take all the crap in the world, and they get everything. So I wasted my time with that company, that business, doing what I did. And they said I was going to earn so much a week. Oh yeah, that's going to be good money. No, I earned nowhere near that amount. They told me I was going to earn $1,600 a week. I earned not even half that in a week. In fact, I earned about half that in a fortnight. That in a fortnight. So the most I've gotten paid out for a fortnight of work is $1,400. That's pretty decent, I guess. Not really good enough to live off of, because it's unreliable pay. That's the problem. When you don't have money and you have high expenses and you don't have a reliable source of income, it's not really a good position. It'd be an okay position if, hey, you want to do something, you don't really need a lot of money, you could do it, and then you'd be okay. But it's a stupid ass position where you've got all these expenses, you haven't got reliable income, you'll feel like you're wasting. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I don't want to do it anymore. I feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm sitting there waiting for jobs, and then when I do feel like quitting, they give me a job, essentially. And it's ridiculous. And a lot of the time I knock off early because it's a ridiculous position. But then they want to argue with me and saying they've been trying to help me, but that's a lie. I mean, they can say, hey, we're helping you by getting you more jobs, but they're only the cheap type of jobs. They're not really worth anything. $3 a run? Oh, come on. If I did 10 of those $3 runs, I'd have my fuel money, and that's it. I would be giving you work, $3. You've only paid for my fuel. Come on. That's ridiculous. But I'm actually putting it there wrong, because only some of the jobs are $3. Most of them are a lot higher than free. But that's That's essentially what my mum's been told by people who have worked for the same company years ago and said it's rubbish pay. To be viable doing that job, I'd have to be earning personally $300 a day. 300 a day, and that's ridiculous to try and say, hey, I want $300 a day and I'll stay, because they won't do that. I also have my other issues. One of them's a legal matter that I'm gonna be taking to a government department to find out a few things about. There's actually two problems I gotta be concerned with. Any others are like, I'm not even gonna worry about those things, they're not as important. But the other things are very important, and I've got more than enough evidence to make it an actual problem. So for them to make a problem out of it, and for me to have records of dates of everything, I can at least go ahead and take what I know to the government. And they might be able to help me out with disputing the issue, because the issue is essentially, as a third party, they told me that they were going to accept money on my behalf to give to me in my next pay. Essentially, what they said was there's two ways to do this. One, we can pay you fortnightly because they don't have much money, or two, we can wait until we have the money and then we pay you in full, sort of thing. And essentially after that, I called them up to find out what's the record for this payment, and they said I will call them up and find out about it. Okay, they kept saying that every single time I called them. They said we're going to call them up and find out about what's going on. The thing is, if the money's in their hands and they're saying they're going to call the other company, what's the use? Because they already have been paid. That's the problem. And this was a year ago, and I called them every now and then, and I've asked them what record says it, and because they've been avoiding the situation, I kind of was like, I'm getting paid alright, I guess. But now I look at it, I've got a big picture of all my daily expenses. I've got a picture of how much I need to be earning to make this viable and sustainable as a job. It's one of those things where essentially it's like, I've been ripped off all along, and I didn't even know it because I didn't have the statistics. I got lied to from the very beginning. From the moment I walked through those doors and they gave me the contract lied to me because it was not organized correctly. So guys, if you ever read a contract, make sure that if you see any numbers such as 1.0 to 10.0 or something, make sure that if you go from 10.0 to 9.0 to 11.0, that you make sure that the page before the 10 or whatever is a 9, and if it is a 9, see what the continuation of it is on the other 9 that you found, because otherwise you're just going to be hammering a knife into your foot, because that's what happened to me. They gave me disorganized, and it seems like it was on purpose, contract, and because of that, well, they're going to end up getting the contract back before I can give it, go take it to the legal department about the issue, because it is a huge issue that I've got to deal with. And because it's disorganized and I haven't tampered with it, what should I do? I don't know. All I know is I feel like they've been screwing me around too much from the very get-go, and they've stolen from me essentially by accepting something that was not intended for them and not forwarding it to who it was relevant. So what's the best way to word that? They accepted something that didn't belong to them, and they didn't return it to who it belonged to, sort of thing. There is no evidence to suggest that they were paid for the thing, but the person who said they were going to pay for it specifically said to me in person that he wanted to pay for it because he made a mistake and he was happy to pay to get it fixed. I had to go out of my way to stop working, go get it fixed, and then I was heading back and I got told, you're not authorized to go there. Essentially, that's the dispute. So I was not allowed to leave where I was because I got told, no, you're not allowed to go there. I should have just gone there, but I listen to everyone too much instead of ignoring people like I sometimes should, because everyone is just screwing around and I don't like it. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. If they want to take legal action against me at all, I got the ability that if they take me to court in any such way that they want to try and screw me over, I can get a subpoena and I can go get the evidence to say that this actually happened. That to get what I was owed back, essentially, to get what I was owed back, they said I was not allowed to go there to get what I was owed, and they accepted it on my behalf, but never forwarded the payment to me. So that's I've learnt that recently, that can happen, and that's a good thing that I now know that stuff, because I didn't know about it before. But as you go through the problems of needing legal information and stuff, you've got that authority. Just know, if you make a phone call, if you make any messages or anything at all, and you try to delete them, even though they're physically deleted to you and the other person, should a government authority or something, or court, request that information is presented, essentially what will happen is a subpoena will be sent out to the company that has to store that information legally for so many years, and they have to then go into their secure files where the file was backed up and deleted, and then they have to recover that file and present it in the courts. So, even though the voice call was a year ago, and they say for your security and the other person's security, we're not allowed to give you that file, if they were taken to court, or I was taken to court, and I wanted that evidence in court, I could essentially say, I need a subpoena, and it's for a court order sort of thing. And then they would have to present that information. They'd have to bring out the secure files, and they'd have to give it to court, because legally they are not allowed to delete files for so many years. It's one of those things that it's evidence from day one. So it's a bit interesting, that situation. Well, you can sort of delete things and get away with things so far, you can't do it entirely, because those files are safe. Those files are on backup servers and file servers and stuff that they're not allowed to be deleted, because if there's a dispute, if there's a court issue or a legal issue, those files are not allowed to be deleted if there's something there that the court may need one day. So yeah, that's the scenario. Anyway, I'll end it there. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go get better, but at the same time getting one pair of new socks and 2 pairs of something else, because everything is just horrible.